knowledge you. They won't come to see me at all. They'll see the midwife, and they may see the doctor. It's a 50-50 chance. Females is really hard, unless it's trauma. Trauma, they'll come to see anybody. Pregnancy issues here, also, 70% of them, it's documented, 70% of them, they die in childbirth, or the child dies. We're relying a lot on the FET team, the female engagement team, but now the female engagement team doesn't have a female interpreter, so trying to get a female to talk to a male interpreter is slim to none. It's not going to happen. So there's challenges every which way in dealing with the females in this country. It's just a pain in the ass. We're trying to get them out of that waiting room that's back there in the carbon monoxide and the dirt area. So my guys and I turn around. This used to be a storage room, just garbage in here. So we cleared it all out, put up the walls, put up the trauma bed, made a little cleaner area for the females here. Hopefully they'll start using this for a female treating area and waiting area. Give them some privacy and away from the men.
Boneyard here. The vehicles that have been hit throughout the deployment. This vehicle was hit in the beginning of our deployment. Damage to the front end, took both wheels off, medium-sized IED. No casualties to the crew or the driver or the VC. You got a 7-ton here, one of the reliable vehicles. Another MRAP, damage to the engine block caused by a fire. Another MRAP, damage to the left side. No injuries to the crew is there as well. Got another 4x. This vehicle was hit about the second or third week into the deployment. Rear damage, right rear wheel, medium-sized IED. We hit this IED about a week and a half ago. Damage to the left driver's side front. Didn't do anything but take the wheel off. No casualties, no injuries to the crew. This is a MRAP 6-spot. It's a pretty reliable vehicle. This vehicle was hit, again, I think the first or second week of our deployment. Passenger front, wheel taken off. No casualties to the crew or the driver, anybody inside. This is our MATV, one of the new vehicles the Marine Corps got. Outstanding vehicle. As you can see, nothing more than taking off the rear driver's side of the vehicle. Did some damage to the cargo space. But as you can see, the cab's still intact. No injuries from this vehicle as well. It is a pretty large predicament. What we usually do is we pull from other platoons in order to meet the mission. We work hard. As you can see, the mechanic here, he works his tail end off in order to get these trucks back up and run and get them on the road as fast as possible, so there's not as much downtime or turnaround for that vehicle to get back on the road. But again, it does impact the mission, and then Marines will adapt and overcome, and what we'll do is we'll either borrow trucks from another platoon or we'll walk. And if we have to walk, then we'll just hoof it and hit the area and the villages in order to patrol on foot.
The first time I got blown up, it was April 14th. We were doing a push down through a place called Salum Bazaar.
All hell was breaking loose. We had IDF. We were receiving small and heavy arms fire.
My armored vehicle started pushing forward, assaulting the enemy.
An MATV went flying by, alone and unafraid, and they got about halfway up the road, and it either hit an IED or it got hit itself by an RPG.
We hit an IED. I woke up in the back seat in the fetal position, felt something running down my face. I wiped my face and looked at my hand. It was covered with blood, and I went back out again.
I went running up there to see if there was any casualties, and of course I opened up the back door, and there's that 500-pound redneck about ready to fall out of the MATV. I shut the door before he fell on me, and then there'd be 2 casualties.
The next thing I can remember is my door opened up, and it was two corpsmen there to get me out. It was Chief Moats and Doc Gotcher, and they got me out of the truck. They asked me if I could walk, and somehow I said, it can't be no worse than being drunk. If I can walk drunk, I can walk like this.
He couldn't recount where he was or anything else like that, so that's a grade 3 concussion.
Got to the ambulance, climbed up in the back of it, laid down on the stretcher, took my Kevlar off, and I went back out again.
He was in and out of consciousness. He was going into shock. We put him on O2, IV, about ready to give him morphine. Another IDF went off. He panicked, freaking out. And it's something to try to keep a 500-pound redneck under control. So we hit him with the morphine. Had pretty quick reaction to that. Him being the redneck he is, and a Marine, he produced the camera, wanted me to take a picture of him on O2 and everything else like that. I'm trying to entertain him. So I take a picture of him, give him back his camera, and he wants me to pose for a picture of me. So I entertain him the best I can.
I was in and out of shock, and I wouldn't shut up about a picture I had of my niece and nephew, the only picture I had of any of my family back home.
And he kept asking for the picture of his niece and nephew, which is in his MATV at the time. And he repetitively kept asking for this picture. I got it. I'll take care of it. I'll get that picture for you.
Chief kept on trying to calm me down and everything, and finally he
grabbed my anchor off my collar and grabbed his hand, smashed in his hand, had a little blood, got his attention. And I told him, this is the deal.
That if I brought his anchor back to him, he would find that picture and make sure that I got it.
Went back to the vehicle after all the contact was done. Vehicle was destroyed. Had a working party out there. It took us an hour to find this damn picture.
I keep the picture with me all the time. Right here.
This is 110/90. It's real faint.
When the district governor had chest pains, he didn't go to the Afghan clinic. He came to the Marine Battalion AIDS